Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. Today, we're taking a look at what happened on Monday Night Raw from December 12th, 2022. Here we go. So, show starts right off the bat with the match for the number one contendership for the Raw Women's Championship between Bayley and Alexa Bliss. If we remember last week, both of them won a three-way, a triple threat match. So before the match starts, Becky Lynch attacks Io Sky and Dakota Kai and chases both of them to the backstage. So we get basically a one-on-one match between Bayley and Alexa Bliss. Now, you see that Bayley is like in disarray because Io and Dakota are chased back in the backstage. Both ladies want to face Bianca Belair for the title, but I pretty much knew that Bayley would not win, because she had lots of chances since SummerSlam and never was able to beat uh, Bianca Belair. So Alexa Bliss wins with a twisted bliss, and after the match, you see Bianca holding the title up, and Alexa says, "No, we're not shaking hands, we're hugging." And as soon and when they went to hug, you see on the screen Bray Wyatt's symbol appear, just flickering on it. And when they hug, you see Alexa Bliss take Bianca Belair in position for the Sister Abigail, with her look like she's possessed. And then she looks at Bianca, and that's she wakes up and just backs off the Sister Abigail. So that what this tells me is that Alexa Bliss is getting more and more under Bray Wyatt's control, or maybe it's Uncle Howdy's control. We don't know yet, but more and more Alexa falls under control of, we'll say it for Bray Wyatt right now. So we'll see how it goes. Alexa has now a date with Bianca Belair for the title. After that, we see a backstage segment in which basically AJ Styles and Chad Gable agree or challenge each other to a match, which takes place right after. So AJ Styles versus Chad Gable. Now, Chad wants to forget the humiliation he got. Well, him and Otis got last Friday on SmackDown when they were sprayed or hosed or drenched in milk, like the classic segment from Kurt Angle on Steve Austin and McMahon and things like that in the 2000s. And AJ wants to get a win. Basically, that's it. So this match does not mean much right now, apart that maybe AJ gets a win for the OC, but that match doesn't have very much significance on it right now, except maybe to continue to build a rivalry, a feud between the OC and Alpha Academy. Then we see a segment Sorry, I'm starting a cold right now, I think. Uh, so that's why maybe my voice is not as usual. Then you see Gargano and Dexter Loomis backstage. They're wondering what they're going to do with the money they have. And basically, Candice LeRae comes and says, well, it's time to give. So they just go to a concession stand, take everything, buy everything there, and start giving away the shirts to anyone. Anyway, that's later, and then Miz attacks, gets the money, and basically that books a match for next week, a ladder match between Dexter Loomis and Miz for double or nothing for the money. So anyway, let's go to match 3 now. So it's the Judgment Day versus the Street Profits and Akira Tozawa. And this match is to continue to establish dominance for Judgment Day. Or the other thing is if the Street Profits win, they could get in line for a title shot against the Usos. Now, every time Dominic gets in the ring or he showboats, the crowd is booing him, and that's golden right now. The crowd hates Dominic, and the turn he did on his father got the exact reaction that WWE wanted. And Rhea Ripley plays her role perfectly in that, and it's so good to see something work as good as this heel turn from Dominic is working. Damian Priest was very impressive in this match, and the Judgment Day wins it when Dominic takes the pin on Akira Tozawa. So the Judgment Day just continue dominating the right now Raw, and I say it again, Judgment Day pretty soon needs to have a title in the faction. And the best person to get that is Rhea Ripley against Bianca Belair. That has to happen at some point down the line. Maybe at the Royal Rumble, we'll see. But they got to get a title soon. So let's go to match 4. So Io Sky versus Candice LeRae. Now Candice wants to get revenge on Io Sky for injuring her a month and a half ago or around there. Io wants to win the match to build her credibility for maybe her future singles career. But because I don't think that, well, I know that this team between Io Sky and Dakota Kai is not going to last forever. Almost no tag teams stay together forever. So, well, when you have a breakout star like Io Sky, you're going to have to make her wrestle singles matches eventually. So that's what both women wanted, and Io wins the match with the over the moonsault. Then we see a segment with Kevin Owens and he says that Solo Sikoa is a very dangerous man. And then you see Elias arrive, and he asks KO to be in his corner for the match to have his back. And that's so funny. KO says, I didn't forget what the mental pain you put me through for months and months and months. saying that yours Ezekiel and Elias are two different people, and he didn't forget about Elias smashing his guitar on his head. So, on him. So, anyway, so that leads up to the following match. So, Elias versus Solo Sikoa. Now, the segments start with a tribute to Riddle by Elias. He sings a song, and anyway, uh, he's interrupted by Solo Sikoa, and we all know how Elias hates being interrupted when he sings. Now, Sami Zayn right now is so over with the crowd. They're chanting Sami Uso, Sami Uso, Sami Uso, and it's so good right now, and it's almost a shame that it's going to come to an end, but it has to. So Solo Sikoa wins with the spinning solo. Now, this continues to establish Solo Sikoa as a real enforcer, the real deal. You know, he's beating everyone right now. I don't think he has suffered a defeat since he came on the main roster. And after the match, he continues to beat down Elias, and he finishes by giving him a Samoan spike. And when he wants to go for the same move that he did to Riddle last week, KO of all people comes to Elias's aid and chases Solo out of the ring. And you notice every time that KO comes to the ring and says, and to prevent harm on a wrestler or something, and Sami is there, there's never Sami always says, no, it's not the time. You pass your message. He doesn't want. It seems like he doesn't want anything to happen to KO, even after his betrayal at War Games. So it always seems like he doesn't want anything to hurt anyone to hurt KO. So just remember that, because it's all coming. And when Elias goes to pat Kevin Owens in the back and say, like he says, thank you, KO turns around, boot, stunner. That's just KO. Let's get to the next match. Oh, and just before we get to the next match, this is just adding fuel to KO's feud with the entire bloodline. It just adds fuel again. So match number 6, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Yeah, once again. But those are good matches. They are very good matches. Now, first thing, Asuka's face paint gone. You know those like green tears or whatever she was painting on her face? Gone. Now, first thing I thought was, is there a change of persona coming for Asuka? My opinion, that would be welcomed. Asuka has the look of old Asuka from NXT. At different points of the match, she looks angry, she looks focused, she looks like, okay, you did this to me, I'm getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And we started to see the old Asuka of of old in NXT, meaning hitting fast, and she has a mean streak. Now, and she's during the match she's holding her own against Ripley, and even had Rhea Ripley in lots of trouble at some point. Asuka even gets the Asuka lock on Rhea, and the only way she got out of it is because Dominic pulled Ripley's leg to the ropes, and then Asuka sprays Dominic with her mist. I think it was a blue mist this time, and she turns around and Rhea pushes Asuka on Dominic, and when she comes around, Riptide 1, 2, 3. But the thing is, Asuka gains credibility even when losing. The new persona is a work in progress, and I smell a heel turn coming for Asuka. When it's going to happen, I don't know. But the day it happens, man, we're going to see a new Asuka. We're going to see the NXT version of Asuka, hopefully, and she should come back to dominate the Raw brand and get the championship once again, and should go in a dominant fashion. That's what I hope. Her NXT run was incredible. If you never saw Asuka in NXT and you have the WWE Network, go see some of her matches. When she won the NXT Championship against Bayley, her matches against Ember Moon are awesome. Go see that and tell me about it after. But I hope Asuka gets a new persona like the old Asuka in NXT. So let's get down to the main event. So main event of the evening, number one contenders match for the U.S. title. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. Now, good match. You see Austin Theory in the back looking at the match. And at one point, near the end of the match, what both want is obvious. They want another shot at the U.S. title currently held by Austin Theory. Now, the referee gets hurt, sprains his ankle, let's say. Lashley spears Rollins. Ref is slow to make the count. Seth kicks out. Lashley goes for another spear. Rollins gets his pedigree on Lashley by countering the spear for the win. So Seth Rollins is your new number one contender. And then Bobby Lashley gets angry, hits officials, even hit Adam Pearce. And Pearce says to Bobby Lashley, "You're fired." So what's going to happen now? We all know Bobby Lashley is not fired for real. So what's going to happen now? Is Bobby Lashley coming in from the crowd to attack Seth, to attack Theory? We'll see what's going to happen. Now, so Seth is the new number one contender. So that's it for Raw. Heard a shocking news today. Just to make one parenthesis to there, I watched NXT. We are Wednesday, December 14th. I watched NXT, uh, the December 13th episode, right before I made this video. And when I came to make this video, I saw on Twitter that Mandy Rose was released today after losing her title yesterday. I never expected that. And unfortunately, I have to call out the hypocrisy of WWE here. Apparently, the reason for her release is because she was putting content on her website. I didn't even go see the website. Apparently, the content was not uh, compliant with her contract in WWE. She's exploiting her good looks. She's exploiting the way she looks, selling images, I think, or whatever it is. I don't care what it is. But WWE, when Mandy was on the main roster, was used as eye candy. Was used to her body was used, her looks was used by WWE to advance storylines, and now they're using that to fire Mandy Rose. I find that very hypocritical. I'm going to stop there. It's unfortunate. I loved Mandy Rose's title reign in NXT, and I really thought that this would bring her up to new heights on the main roster, accompanied by Toxic Attraction. Now, what is that going to mean? I don't know. For what is that going to mean for Gigi Dolan and JC Jane? I don't know. Toxic Attraction will not be the same without Mandy Rose. So I'm going to stop there. That's it for Raw, and hope to see you on my next video for SmackDown. Have a nice day.